Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on more SDL3 AI text logic in C++. That said, last stream I did like write a long code, but then I couldn't actually load my text and my NPCs were actually talking with each other, so I'm going to be fixing that right now. That's let's go to my gameplay screen and maybe even decrease my volume from here. Okay, perfect. Let's go there. Okay, now let's say something like Sensei I'm live. And guys, I did not have time today to like change my chat. That's it. Let's say something like Sensei I'm live! Exclamation. Okay, let's see. Okay, people, you're live. Good. Finally, I was waiting. Straighten your back, fix your posture, and wake up your brain. Today, your viewers are watching a future game dev in real time, so don't you dare waste even a single second of this patience. Listen up, Chad. This kid showed up to learn even after an exam. Guys, I did have that today. It went kind of good. Honestly, it did go kind of good. That's the kind of discipline that breaks limits, people. Today we build, today we learn, today we make SDL bow to us instead of the other way around. Now, tell your sensei what you want to learn this. Okay, what do you want to learn this stream so I can start beating that knowledge into your skull in front of everyone. Okay, let me say something like, sensei, okay, yesterday I wrote a incomplete code, so today I'm going to be fixing or actually completing that. Let's go with something like completing that and then sending it to you guys. I hope I can actually complete it type stuff. That said, this is the code from last stream. I did like write all this and I left a note here for me for this stream. Fix the chat not displaying on the window and also the chat on and chat off section. So let me go ahead and take a look at the chat on and chat off section. So chat is on if my user clicks what event. When is chat gonna be on? Let's scroll all the way up here to check chat on and off. Okay, there we go. If not chat on, I do this. Where did I actually create the chat on and off stuff? Was it inside of my class here? Do I have a class that says something like chat on and off? Okay, honestly, I don't think it's a class. I think it might be a function here. Hold up, guys. I'm trying to like review what I just did yesterday. Okay, so I create classes on ground and then I have chat on and off. Here's the thing. Where did I really create an if statement that actually tells me if my chat is either on or off? You know, let's actually see the code from the very beginning. I create physics body, then I create classes here. So, do I have a chat on and off somewhere here in these classes? Okay, I so far don't see a chat on and off. Display history, and then I have a heroes class, I have a dragons class. In my main function, under game variables, I do not have chat on and off. So where did I actually, there we go, chat. Okay, so I have a boolean of chat on under my is running. Okay, guys, it took me a while to figure it out. There we go. And then I create a event loop. Now, for my event loop, I go ahead and do something. I check if my event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down to if my chat is not on, event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down. Okay. So if my chat is not on, I think I should go with something like if chat on. There we go. And that a condition that actually makes my chat on. Okay, if chat is on, text events, I think I gotta go with a not here. So if my chat is not on, then I go ahead and use my text events section, which I'm assuming is my automation type stuff. And then if chat is not on, I want to display my event. So let me check what does the text event and text history function does real quick. So I'm going to go to my text class, display text history, okay, and then that's text event. So this is all my text events. So I write stuff and all that. Okay, I do gotta add a check that actually tells me if my chat is on. No wonder this code wasn't working yesterday. Okay, to fix that, I'm gonna go ahead and add a statement here. I'm gonna go with something like maybe under my event loops all the way here. Okay, so I'm gonna add an event loop after my if statement here that converts my chat on to be chat off. So I'm gonna go with something like if a parentheses. Let's say something like if my event.type, maybe I copy that, delete it from here. I want to paste that under my key codes as local variable. So I'm gonna go with something like if my event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down. If any of my keyboard buttons are currently being pushed down, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna add a switch to look exactly what button was being pushed down or what key was being pushed down. I'm gonna check if for my case 1, I'm gonna see if my SDL's key is something like tab, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. If oh wait, I did add that here though. I checked if my case is tab, then chat on is gonna be set to true, and then I break. So initially, I think initially that should be set to false, and then I actually added this event check. Hold on guys, there we go. I added my chat on event check. If I click tab, it's set to true, then I break. If my chat is on, I want to go ahead and not do this thing. Okay, so I'm going to go with something like if not chat on. If my chat is not on, then I do that. Okay, and then I go with if event.type equals to SDL underscore key underscore up, then I do this. Here's one more thing, guys. I did not add a break here, so let's go ahead and add a break. So after my case, I'm going to go ahead and add a break. This could be a reason why my chat was actually not displaying on my screen. That does make sense, guys. And then add if statement here, add if statement here. Okay, perfect. Now, if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, the moment of truth, guys, does it actually display my chat? So I get my first window up here, waiting for my second window to compile. Here's my second window. Actually, I have my console. This is my first window. That is like my console. Okay, so I can move left and right. If I type something, I can't type anything. If I hit tab, hello. If I hit enter, it does say the hello part here. Let's type something like hello. Okay, when I type hello, the histories are showing as well. If I regularly type H, it shows my histories, but I want it to be displayed on my screen. I think to do that stuff, I gotta actually add my entire loop in here. Or instead, I could go ahead and add my chat on inside of my chat boxes class, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this boolean variable from here. And guys, I am doing a few trial and errors here because I know a few ways to actually fix this, but I don't know actually which works. So I gotta try that real quick. Give me a sec. So now where do I actually set my chat on / chat off here? Maybe I set it here as a public variable. I have a boolean chat on / off variable. I gotta go ahead and change it somewhere here. I've used my chat on and off like multiple times, so this should work. Could it be because I don't need to click tab? I might actually try something by changing this tab to something like shift. Let's go with L shift. Okay. Let's go with left shift. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command and see what happens, I get my console here. Okay, and then I get my window here, where my player can jump around, he can walk, but I want to see if the chat works. Let's click L shift, say something like hey. In my console, the spaces is actually registering too. The only time I want something to register is when I type something out. You gotta ask something. Are you gay? Honestly, no, I am straight. Okay, that's it. I think I know where something is messed up. Maybe the place that is actually messed up is not my chat system, it's my class here. I gotta go ahead and fix the display text on window. Okay, that part isn't that wrong. And then I gotta change the text event. There we go. I gotta only run this event if my chat is on. So let's go ahead and copy this part. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. The if statement starts there, so it's gotta end here. Okay, let's copy this part, delete it from here. I'm gonna scroll all the way down and just paste it on my event loops section for the time being. So I'm gonna go all the way here. Okay, let's say something like if April parentheses. Let's say if my chat is on, so I'm gonna go with something like if chat on. Then I'm gonna go ahead and paste this here. Text input. I'm assuming this is going to be my chat.text input. Was it called chat.text input? Hold up, guys. I'm trying to think this really hard real quick. Okay, maybe I copy these three protected data members from here. And then let's delete this from the classes section. I'm gonna go ahead and paste that inside of my main loop under my game variables, I'm assuming, somewhere here. Okay, let's say something like chat variables. Okay, and guys, I know I'm actually getting the class out and putting it inside of my actual main loop, but I feel like I want to check if this works, because if this works, it fixes like half the things. Okay, let's remove the chat.text input. Now, this is the first event type. Let's go ahead and work with the second event type now. So, for my second event type, I'm going to scroll all the way up here till my chats class again. I'm going to go ahead and delete this event type from here. Okay, let's delete that. Second one is a void display histories function. So, I'm going to go ahead and copy this function as well. And then let's go ahead and delete this part from here. Let's scroll all the way down here. Okay, now after my first event type that I added here, this is to check if my chat is on or off. Okay, I gotta add another case as well. What up, guys? Let's go ahead. This is key down. If I click it again, I want to set it to be false. Actually, it does be set to false every iteration. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe I go with something like if a proc parentheses, if my event dot type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key well, maybe instead of adding a whole new event type, I could just add another case here, guys. Let's go with for my case 2. I'm gonna check if my SDL's key. Hold on, guys. There we go. For my case 2, I'm gonna check if my SDL's key is right shift. So I'm gonna go with the right shift. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. L shift SHIFT. There we go. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna set my chat on to be equal to false, ending with a semicolon, and then I break. Okay, what are you making? What's your origin? Okay, honestly, what I'm making is technically if I like run the code, my player can so far jump, move around, and like do all those basic stuff. My NPC is automated, applied by gravity as well. That said, I want to add a chat box function where I actually talk something and my NPC sees what I actually talk and it replies like depending on what I say. I'm going to be using map slash dictionaries for that. Okay, that's it, but I'm trying to like figure out where I messed up when I display my stuff on my window. I think I have it all figured out. I just gotta like paste it share type stuff. So I'm gonna go with something like chat on. If my chat is on, then I'm gonna go ahead and add a prof curly braces and do something. Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste this event type here as well. Okay, because apparently I have it like set in my classes, but I'm trying to remove it off my classes, if that makes any sense. Okay, run it. Honestly, I will give me a sec. So if my event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down and key is H, I do this. Okay, perfect. Now let's scroll all the way up here. And let's go ahead and remove my where's it gone? My event type. Okay, I think I already removed my display text on window. Okay, let's remove this function from here. Okay, now next up is the void display text function. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part. What have you learned so far? Name them also in chat, please. I want to learn. Honestly, if it's like in chat, you could like join my Discord server, and once I'm done with my stream, I can like send you the roadmap that I've been following to learn C++, or like even say the specific topics that you're looking for. That's it. Now let's go ahead and copy this part, go all the way down here. Let's paste it on my graphics section. So this is chat.text event. I'm going to go ahead and remove that to just be text event. I mean, I wouldn't need this part. It's not like, because I added my chat.text event. So, hold up, guys. Which is my text event? I'm pretty sure that's my text event. And that's my text history. So, I will not be needing these two if statements anymore. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Go to my graphics section and paste this here. Now, I gotta add my DSTRect inside my main function as well. So I'm gonna go all the way up here to my class. Let's copy my DSTRect's parameters, which is technically everything inside here. For example, my color, my surface, my text input that is being converted to a string, all the stuff. Okay, I go ahead and copy that. I scroll all the way down here. And guys, I know usually it's not like recommended to have your main loop like flooded with all these functions and all that stuff. But the reason I am doing this is just to test something. Like, I want to check if this part actually works type stuff. Because if it does, then like it's going to be really easy to actually fix the main error and like implement all these stuff inside of a main loop. Can you please write the roadmap in chat, guys? The roadmap is huge. I don't think I could like write it in chat like manually. It's going to take a while. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and paste this under my graphics section. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste it all the way here. Respectfully, dedication. Honestly, I appreciate you. The Qent, is that your pronunciation your name? That actually means the world to me, guys. Okay, now I just gotta create a DST rect. So I'm gonna scroll all the way up here, and yeah, I'm just gonna be copying this one line of code, guys. I was actually too lazy to type this out. Alright, perfect. That's actually pretty much it. Now, I wouldn't need my chatsys class, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete my chatsys class. That makes me have one less class and fixes almost all the errors. Now, my DST rect is gonna be somewhere under my, let's say, game variables section. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it here. Maybe I add a comment that says something like, rectangles. I mean, practically my floor is considered a rect as well. There we go. Okay, now let's scroll all the way down here. I wouldn't need my chatsys class as well, so I'm going to go ahead and delete my chatsys class. Now that I've created DST rect, why do I still get red underlines? Okay, it is because my chat.display window. Gotta delete this part from my graphics. And then gotta go ahead and I fill in the parameters here. My x-axis is going to be, let's say, 100 for the time being. My y-axis is going to be 100 for the time being as well. Okay, and my scale. Let's go ahead and create a scale real quick, guys. So under my game variables, I'm going to go ahead and create a floating point of scale, which is set to something like 0.1f ending with a semicolon. That is basically the size of my text. Okay, hiding Otaku Wars, I appreciate you joining the stream. Wait, did I mess something up while fixing this part? Guys, I sometimes like hate doing this part because of this. The cleans and everything should be back here. So let's go with something like Shift Tab. Hold on, guys. I think I missed a pair of square brackets. I mean, a pair of curly braces or something. Okay, guys. I think I was doing this in a bit of a rush. Hold up. So I added FPS. Let me see this part really carefully, real quick. So I have a while loop. In my while loop, I have two basic variables, a event type. So this is where my while loop begins, and it should be ending somewhere here. Okay, that's a long while. I mean, that's a long event loop. There we go. That's where I actually messed up. Okay, apparently my graphics and everything is inside of my event loop. Guys, why is my graphics and all that stuff inside of my event loop again? Okay, let's go ahead and copy my key controls and all this basic type of stuff all the way up till here. Even apply gravity and like present by render and FPS. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that, delete it from here. Okay, now that works. So that's my while loop, that's my event loop. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it here. Now, this gets me the errors because there's one pair of parentheses or curly braces that I messed up inside of my key controls. Let's see. So, my key controls is correct. Now, for my fill screen is correct. For my graphics is correct here. And then SDL_set render draw color correct. That part's correct as well. Okay, this might be the part that might be wrong. So, text color, did that correct. My surface, did that correct as well. Here, this is the part. Where does my if statement end? My if statement ends here, but I do destroy my texture. Okay, I have a texture here, but here's the thing. I did not actually create my texture. Okay, wait, this is a texture. That is a surface. So, I gotta go ahead and use the SDL_textures structure, which consists of a texture as a parameter here. There we go. This fields create texture from surface. How did I get access to a regular texture? Do I have any kind of texture variables up here somewhere? Text surface. Did I like create a texture somewhere up here? Pretty sure not, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure not. I don't even need to like recheck that part. That's it. I created a texture. Now a floating point width height. I got the width and height. My if statement, it ends here. And then what ends here? This is supposed to be my main loop. Okay. Apparently my while loop ends here. Oh, I think I see where I messed up. I think I see. This is the part that's kind of wrong up here. So let's go ahead and copy this real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part. So let's copy that and delete this from here. There we go. That fixes my error from here. But here's the stuff. Where do I actually paste that thing? Because I need to add a if statement for that. I might actually retype that part correctly. Okay, so let's see. So I fill my rect. And then after this, let me scroll up a bit so I can actually like see the whole code when I paste it. Now, when I paste it, I have key controls. Okay, this is the part. So I start this here. I don't need this parentheses, guys. I'm pretty sure. There, that fixed everything. I just had an extra parentheses. Okay, what are you most interested in about computers? About AIs, honestly. I feel like I like the concept of actually building AI type stuff. That's it now. If I need controllers to save the code and run the command and see what happens. Okay, did I run into a error? Let's see. Texture used. Okay, I think it's because I created a SDL_texture here. Let's delete this part. Okay, apparently, do I have a texture? I gotta like fact check that part. Let's hit controllers to save the code and run the command again. Okay, pointing. So it says potentially uninitialized local pointer texture used. So it says it's used. Did I use it somewhere? Run it. Okay, $5,000. Okay, let's see. So, do I have a text textures as variable that it says used? I wish there was like control F here. There is text. Okay, so I have a SDL_texture, but I'm gonna go with something like text texture. So I have a text texture, so I'm gonna go with something like text texture. Oh, so it is something inside of my chat variables. I would not need this here. There we go. Okay, now if I were to scroll all the way down here, I can go ahead and set this equal to the SDL_textures' structure. Alright, perfect. Now if I need controllers to save the code, SDL_vendor texture. This requires a text textures as parameter. Maybe I go ahead and create this variable. Let's copy that. Okay, I want to render my texture, right? So this should go inside my graphics, I'm assuming. Okay, this should go inside my graphics. I'm practically outside right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this thing. Let's go ahead and delete it from here. Maybe I paste it here. I mean, it does work. I want to see if this part works. If I need controllers to save the code and run the command and see what happens. Okay, so I get my first window here. Actually, I get my console here and I get my window here as well. There we go. So this is my window where like my... Hold up, guys. Let me get my console a bit up here. There we go. Okay, so my player can move. My player can jump. The moment of truth. If I were to hit a left shift, can I type something like hello? If I were to hit right shift, can I type something like hello? Okay, if I type either shift, I can't type any kind of hellos or any kind of messages up here. Maybe because of my position, because my position is too small. Okay, Vivek the Magnificent, stay strong. Honestly, I appreciate you, FBR tax. That actually means the world to me, guys. Okay, you know what? I think it actually works. I'm doing something wrong. Hold up, guys. So this is my window, right? If I extend it, let's hit right shift, type something like hello. Left shift, type something like hello. Hit enter. Okay, nothing happens. Hold on, guys. Maybe, let's see. Where could it be that I messed up? Why is my texture not displaying on my window? I have my renderer, I have now PDR, I have my DST rect. Well, maybe I do need to copy this variable real quick. Let's copy that. Let's go ahead and paste it under my, let's see somewhere here. Okay, now let's scroll all the way down. Did I not add a semicolon? There we go. Ending with a semicolon. Now if I just scroll all the way down here, I'm gonna go ahead and remove something from here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my SDL underscore textures of structure. And now if I want to copy my SDL underscore render texture from here, delete this part, and paste it somewhere here, this should honestly work perfectly, guys. Okay, if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Set the texture to 67 and try again. Guys, I feel like, that would be like too tiny. Okay, is your dragon friendly? Honestly, no, it is an NPC dragon, but I did not add like, some kind of attack features to it, if that makes any sense. Potentially uninitialized local pointer text texture used. Potentially uninitialized. Why does it say potentially uninitialized even though... Okay, I mean, that is kind of fair. I think it is like uninitialized. Maybe I could initialize it by pasting it. Sure, so I gotta create texture from surface. So let's go with SDL underscore texture. And guys, if it still doesn't work, I might have to ask Sensei/ChatGPT for help here. Okay, and then I'm going to go with something like an asterisk of my texture. Now let's delete it from my while loop. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this from here. Okay, perfect. Now, let's see. I have a text texture that does not work here because I don't have the, I don't have it initialized outside my loop. So I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. Everything is correct, to be honest. Why can't I see that stuff? Is it because of my chat on and chat off logic that is kind of messed up? My chat on is initially set to false. Now, the way I set it to be true is if my key is being pushed down, if my L shift is pushed down, chat on is set to true. If my right shift is being pushing down, my chat on is set to false. If my chat is on, okay, if it is set to... Or can I do something like if chat on equals to true just for the time being? Okay, then I gotta check if any of my buttons are being pushed down. I look for the specific type of button, which is H, that displays my histories. Whoops. And then I check if my chat on is equal to true as well. I mean, I don't need the equals to true. I'm just using it for the time being. If my event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore text underscore input, my event.text is stored inside of my text inputs. Then I check if my event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down. I check the key that's being pressed and do something, okay. This is if my chat on is set to true when I hit left shift. So I hit left shift, okay, so which is my left side is shift. And if chat if chat is equal to false, I mean the equal to false is not important, guys. I'm just doing it because I want to like check this in the most basic way to know I'm not doing some silly mistake. Okay, if event.type is key down, I check what happens. Depending on that, this event type works because this like literally works when I do something. If event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore up, switch okay, then I add my key controls and my basic stuff. My chat should work, to be honest. The reason it does not work, it could actually be because of my positions that I set to it. Maybe I don't want to add positions for my chat for the time being. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way up here, delete my x-axis and y-axis. Okay, and remove my scale too, because I don't want it to be scaled for the time being. I just want it to be a raw chat showing on my display. If I did Control S to save the code and run the command, I get my console here and I get my window here. Now, in my window, if I type hello and then I hit enter, it does not display on my console. Guys, might have to ask for help here. Okay, maybe I go with a bunch of Control C's, get this back up here. Okay, let's go with Control A, Control C, copy that. Let's get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Now, let me go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. I've been trying for a while, but I can't get my chat to be displayed on my window. ... I also removed my class that was called chat and added all that stuff to my event loop. Okay, let's see. Okay, people, I see exactly what's happening, and I'm not surprised you're frustrated. Your problem is you're destroying the texture immediately after creating it. Does that make any kind of difference? Because I don't think I destroyed, because like when you create something, you gotta destroy that stuff, right? You cannot destroy the texture before rendering it. Okay, so apparently, I think since I do that, I gotta go ahead and copy my this parts. Okay, delete that. I got it rendered before I deleted. There we go. Now Project Control has to save the code and run the command and see what happens. I get my first window here. I get my console here and my window here. Let's try to type something like, cut up guys, there we go. Hello? Okay, it still doesn't work. Now, I think I actually didn't read it completely. Let's go ahead and cancel this and read the whole thing, guys. Okay, you keep it alive. Scope texture is wrong right now. It's a local variable inside loop. Every frame you create it, destroy it, and try to render it will never appear because you destroyed it before SDL could draw it. You're not continuously updating your texture properly. You need to recreate the texture only when the text challenges, not every frame blindly. Otherwise, you waste performance and can destroy accidentally. Okay, congrats bro for 80. Honestly, I appreciate you. Thanks. It actually means the world to me, guys. Okay, how to fix it immediately? What a stupid game, bro. Honestly, it is like a basic game, what you would call it, template type stuff. Okay, mentally before coding, keep an SDL underscore texture outside the loop like you did for DST rect. When texture input changes, type backspace return, destroy the old texture and create a new texture. Only render it after creation. Don't destroy it before rendering. Destroy the texture at the very end of your program. Okay, so apparently, technically what that actually meant was, when I was destroying my texture, that was kind of true, but I gotta go ahead and copy a texture here, so I gotta actually, let's just delete this part. Okay, now, outside my while loop, okay, like my DST rect or my direction rect, I'm gonna go ahead and create a texture here. So let's go ahead and create that maybe somewhere here. I'm gonna go with something like more game variables. These are going to be basic game variables. Let's go with something like SDL underscore texture, which is going to be a pointer towards, let's say something like a textures is local variable, ending with a semicolon. Okay, stop with the accent, bro. Guys, stop with the accent. It's crazy. That's it. If I scroll all the way down right now, let's see. Okay, now every time a texture is getting destroyed from here, every time a texture is being destroyed, it is being rendered as well, if that makes any sense. Now, if I read control has to save the code and run the command and see what happens. Okay, so I get my first window here. Actually, my console here. Guys, I keep calling my console window for some reason. Secondly, let's type something like hello. Okay, my hello does not display. It does not even like show on my console. Maybe I could go with like a bunch of control Z's. I hope there's not a limit to how many control Z's I could go here. Okay, let's go with a few more control Z's. Guys, these are like way too many control Z's. Hold on. Wait, did I go way too much? Do I even have my chats as class anymore? Okay, let's go with control shift Z, chat on. Chat.text input, protected data members. Oh no, maybe I think I was going correct. Let's delete that part, delete that. Okay, this is our shift. Hey, you guys might be thinking, why am I going with like a lot of control Z's? There. I hope my control Z's weren't capped, guys. If I did control S to save the code and run the command, my first window does run. Okay, so this is my console, this is my window. Hello? Huh. Hello? I can move, but I can't display my text, guys. Could it be that adding the control Z's, got me in a worse position than I already was on? Maybe. What if I tried without the chat on and off? I want to try it without the chat on and off. I can always add this later. Okay, guys, chat on and off can always be added later. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that part, de-indent this. Let's go ahead and delete that, de-indent this part, go up. There we go. Okay, now I don't have the chat on and off logic here, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete my chat on and on logic real quick. Let's go with a bunch of control Z's. Control shift Z. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and delete this variable from here. Let's go ahead and remove this event type check as well. Okay, now apparently if everything is correct, I wouldn't be bothered with the chat on and off. It is always going to be working no matter what I click on my keyboard. I get my console here, And I get my window here. Let's get my console a bit here. So let's type something like hello. Okay, it shows hello on my console, but not on my window. Whatchamacallit, the reason it actually does that, it could be because I'm drawing my I'm drawing my text before I can actually display it. And do I even have a font here? Did I even create a font? I did create a font here. Okay, so where am I actually drawing it? So I have something like display text. So that is display history. I have display text on window. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy my display text from Windows Leader from all the way back here. So now where do I have my destroy for my text event? So where I like really destroy my texture and my surface is under, excuse me guys, it's on my constructor. So maybe I don't delete it. Okay, I know we do gotta always like delete these stuff so it doesn't like pile up in the memory address, but I think I won't be deleting it this time. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. I get my first window here and my second window here. Now, if I were to type something like hello, hit enter, it does display on my console. How you doing, Jeetal? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, it does display on my console, but not on my window. What if, let me think really hard. This is a really easy mess to fix, I feel like. What is the most silliest mistake that I'm doing here? Okay, so when you gotta display something on your window, what is a few things that you gotta keep in mind? Gotta learn Java for tomorrow. Honestly, it does sound kind of cool. Good luck with learning Java, Jeetal. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and check my Chatsys class again. Now, what are the few things Chatsys class needs? Fine, it needs a texture. It needs a text input. I'm going to be changing this to be private because these should be private data members because apparently this is not a derived class anymore. Okay, so I go ahead and have a texture parameter here. I have a standard string of text input parameter here. I have a standard vector, standard string of message histories as vector here. I think Himanshu, I appreciate you joining the stream. When it shows, honestly, I just ran it like 30 seconds ago. Okay, so if I were to like run the code again, let's see what happens. I get my first window up here. Actually, my console, guys, I keep calling my console window. So this is a basic program. I didn't like write this last stream. If I type something like hello, hit enter, my hello is being displayed on my console, not on my window. How doing, iMain? I appreciate you joining the stream. I want it to be displayed on my window here. What if I type something like hello? Okay, I don't see it like anywhere on my window type stuff. Okay, so let's see. To fix that, maybe I go ahead and remove the scale from here because I might not need a scale this time. If I hit Control S again and run the code, let's see what happens. If I get my first window here, guys, I'm just going to be getting my windows and not my consoles anymore. Hello? Okay, the hello does display on my console, but not on my window. Now, the seam guided you. It had interest in C++ too. But the problem is time. Oh, I see. Honestly, I feel like C++ is actually really fun. Okay, that's it. Let's go with a bunch of control Z's. Check the positions. Make sure you call the methods, etc. I did actually call the methods. The position. I was actually thinking about the position of my x-axis and my y-axis. That is when I create my direction rect. So I have a font, I have x-axis, y-axis, and scale. These are the parameters that require my constructor. So when I go ahead and create a Chatsys constructor or object, I have a render font, x-axis, y-axis, which is 100 and 100. I feel like that should be pretty good. Maybe I change this to be something like 0.3. I want it to be a bit bigger. Okay, so let's see. Let's get my console here. Okay, dumbest coder. Okay, so I'm gonna type something like hello. Can I see it anywhere? I cannot see it anywhere in my window. I can't see you rendering the text. Honestly, I did like render the text here. Let me actually show you guys. So, okay, you make surface, don't render. I think I like rendered my text like all the way up here. There's text event under my graphic. God, where did I even render the text? I'm pretty sure I've seen myself rendering the text somewhere. Did I actually forget to render the text? Check the color of the text. Okay, guys, actually, that does make sense. I added my render text on my, what's the function name? Wait, this is not render text, that is render texture. Let's scroll up to my chats class. This is my histories. Guys, where's my render text here? There, display text on window function. I did not use this function. Okay, you did, guys. There we go. I literally saw that I displayed it on my text. I didn't see it anymore. Check font color. Honestly, I set it to be black. I think it should work. Let me actually try rendering my text real quick. I'm pretty sure. How did I delete that part or something? Did I really not render my text? Let's go with chat dot. The display text on Windows function with a parentheses that does require a parameter of my renderer. So I'm gonna go with something like renderer ending with a semicolon. Now, if I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see if this works. So I get my first window here. Guys, there's no way I didn't render my text. Let's type something like hello. There we go. It still doesn't work. Okay. Now, here's one more thing about the color part. Let me actually check my color. Wait, it could be because my text was 0.3 the size. Where you stream from, bro, like, what college or university? Honestly, I don't stream from, like, college or university. I, like, stream from my apartment. That said, my Dragon's font. This is my Chat's font. What is my font's color? This is my font. Let me change this to be something like 24. Maybe because my font was, like, too puny, guys. That's why I couldn't see it. Because I'm pretty sure my font is somewhere on my window. Let's go with something like hello. Why don't I see my font? This doesn't make sense because, like, this should honestly be correct. Maybe because of my scale. Let's remove my scale from here. I might actually remove my scale for the time being. I might add it, like, later on. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens now. So I get my console here and I get my window there. Let's type something like hello. Okay, it is being displayed on my console but not my window, guys. This is kind of strange. What color did I set it to be? My Texas color is black because I'm pretty sure the 000 RGB is like black type stuff. And it is transparent. It's actually correct. Okay, so I have a surface color. Okay, I was asking like if you're a freshie, sophomore, or undergrad. Honestly, I am like a freshman. That's it. You may be putting science text on science, so it may be actually rendering text, but it's the same color, so you can't see it. But my text is black here. Could it be because, would it make sense if my window is clearing my screen above my text? So my text does exist, but it's behind my color. Okay, 000235 is black. Honestly, I wanted my text to be black, and my window is cyan. Okay, so let's see. Maybe I could go with Control-A, Control-C, copy that, get some C/T3 here. Can we do Duo and Valorant right now? Guys, I want for 100 series was over. That said, extreme. So let's delete this part. That said, I didn't actually, I couldn't download it back on my mini PC, but I might try installing it here. Once my program for like 250 series is over, I might play like Valorant for like one stream or something. Try selecting text on all screen, like how you select a parameter. Honestly, I did like try that though. Let me see something like, let's say, now my text is being displayed on my console only, but not my window. The actual text that I wanted was like when my player moves, it like moves alongside him as well, if that makes any sense. I think your text is disappearing before it's rendered. That did make sense. So like I removed the destroy text function from my class to like avoid that. That said, I see exactly what's going on, people. Listen carefully. The reason your text shows on the console but not the window is the same damn problem you had before. Your SDL texture is never kept alive or updated properly for rendering. Look at your chat class, SDL texture. Okay, text input starts empty when the class is constructed, so the texture is a texture empty text. When you type text later, you never update text textures, so the renderer keeps drawing the old empty texture. You destroy textures inside loops in the other version. If you did that again, nothing would appear. How to fix it? Keep SDL_text texture as a member variable. Okay. check z index. Honestly, I think like by z index, do you mean like the last index of my constructor? Every time text input changes, typing backspace to destroy the old texture and create a new one from text input. Only destroy text texture at the very end, right before creating a new one. Right before creating a new one. Okay, SDL underscore free surface, create surface call update function. Okay, so was I not having it as a member function? So let's see. So under my chats class, when I create like my okay, my text texture is a private data member. It is like a private data member. Should it be like a member, like a public one right here? What if I go ahead and paste it here? Okay, so member variable. Would I require it as a parameter here for like iterating over every single loop? Okay, create texture from surface. And then once it's done, before I create a new one, I gotta delete the old one. So I'm gonna go with SDL underscore destroy textures this function. I destroy my texture. Alright guys, I think I spelled destroy wrong. Okay, case I go with destroy texture, this is going to be my text. Textures is a variable ending with a semicolon. After that, since I did create a surface as well, I'm going to go ahead and destroy my surface. So SDL underscore destroy surface. There we go, with a parentheses. This is going to be my text surfaces parameter. And then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, if I read control has to save the code and run the command and see what happens. I get my first window here. And I get my second window here. Let's type something like hello. Okay, I still see my hello on my console, not my window. Let me think really hard. What is something that I'm doing that is not actually going well with this? Maybe instead of having my SDL underscore texture right here, I might actually copy this and have it as a parameter inside of my chats constructor. So after my scale, I'm gonna go with something like SDL underscore texture. Okay, with an asterisk to a textures as parameter. Now I delete this from here. Okay, and let me change this to be text texture. Let's go with something like text texture. Okay, perfect. I scrolled all the way down here. I wouldn't need this function here now. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that function. Okay, and my dsdirect as well. I could go ahead and get my dsdirect as a parameter too. So let's do that. I'm gonna go here and type something like a SDL underscore frect, which is going to be called something like dsdirect. Alright, perfect. Now let's go ahead and scroll down. Why do I see these red underlines here? Because I go with text inputs. Did I miss a semicolon? Maybe not. Where's my statement here? That's my constructor. Maybe I added an extra pair of curly braces. There we go, that fixed it all. Now, if I were to scroll all the way down here, renderer, this requires a textures parameter. So I'm gonna go somewhere right here. Let's paste my SDL underscore texture and also my SDL underscore frect, which is going to be called something like dsdirect / my direction rect. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and end that with a semicolon. Now let's fill in the parameters. This requires a parameter of my text texture. Okay, and then let's what are parameters does it require? So it requires the renderer, font. It requires a dsdirect as well. So I'm going to go with something like my dsdirect parameter, ending with a semicolon. Now let's scroll all the way down. My display text on window function. Chat.display text on window. Did I do something wrong here? Okay, I deleted my entire function, so this function does not exist. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this function. And now, inside under my graphics category right here, I'm gonna go ahead and use the SDL underscore render textures as function. So I'm going to be rendering my texture on my screen. This function requires a bunch of parameters. The first is going to be a renderer. The second is going to be a texture, which in this case is my text texture. The third is going to be a source ref, which I don't have one, so I'm going to be setting it to be null PDR. Lastly, the fourth parameter is going to be my dsdirect. Okay, the memory address of my dsdirect. Then I add my function with a semicolon. Now, if I need Control S to save the code again and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, did I get like an error here? Hold up, guys, let's delete that part. It says uninitialized local variable DST rect used. Okay, so I did not initialize my rectangle. I mean, I could do that if I wanted to. Okay, maybe I just do it actually. I do actually like do that inside of my function here and inside of my constructor. Oh wait, hold up guys, I actually think I got a genius idea. Hold on guys, let's paste this here. Let's go with a bunch of Control Z's. Guys, I think that I got a genius idea here. Okay, let's go ahead and add a bunch of Control Z's again. Oh, okay, wait, I'm going to go with a bunch of Control Shift Z's. This is size 24. That is private. That is my texture. That is my destroy texture. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and destroy my texture here. I'm going to go ahead and destroy my surface here. Okay, and then I go with Control Z's because I don't want to require myself a parameter. There we go. Okay, now, here's the thing. The thing that I was actually thinking is that... Guys, I forgot. What was I thinking again? When I actually set my color and my surface here, what if it was not inside of my constructor? But if it's not inside my constructor, so let's think inside my constructor. Got it, guys. The thing that I was messing up with, I do not need those parameters inside of my constructor because that would not make much sense. I might need it inside of my display text on window function. Okay, guys, I think that was definitely the mistake right here. So, I'm going to be requiring no parameters in my constructor here, practically. Okay, so if I don't require parameters, what am I going to do inside my constructor? Let's go ahead and remove these parameters first. Okay, so... when I create a object, I don't require any parameters, so maybe I don't require a constructor at all. I think Johnny, I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it, guys. Let me hydrate my lips real quick. I think I have this figured it out, guys. I think I just figured it out. Okay, so now when I create my color and my surface, I do not think that goes in the constructor because constructors are the basic parameters that my class is going to be having. In the other hand, all of this, let me go ahead and copy that, is going to be inside of my function here, inside of my display text on window function. Did I delete all those? Okay, I didn't delete them. Let's go ahead and copy everything up till color. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Okay, now I require these parameters that are required up here. Let's copy that inside my parameter here. There we go, guys. And now, I wouldn't need any of this in my constructor. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even need a constructor at all. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my constructor. I just require a few methods like display text on window method. And then my void display text on window. Okay, once I'm done with this, before I destroy my texture, I want to go ahead and use the SDL underscore render textures function. I think Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Now, my render textures function does require a few parameters. The first is going to be my renderer. Second is going to be my text texture. The third parameter is going to be null PTR because I don't have a source rect. The fourth parameter is going to be the memory address of my rectangle's direction. Okay, so I'm going to go with the address of operator. Perfect, and then I end my entire function with a semicolon. Now, if I scroll down, display text on window function. So, I don't require any parameters here for my chat class. So, I'm going to just go ahead and end that. And then my display text on window requires a few parameters. I require my font here, so let's go ahead and give my font size variable. And then x-axis 100, y-axis 100, scale... I don't know, guys. I don't want it to be too small. Let's go with 0.5. If it's like too big, I can always shrink it down. And now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here. I get my window here. Moment of truth. Hello? It works! Guys, you guys can see the hello here. It works, guys. This was such a blind shot. I was having a really good poker face. What did you know? The constructor was the culprit the whole time. Okay, what are you making? Honestly, I'm making like a game where my player can like basically move around and like jump and do all that stuff. Including it has gravity, that is my NPC, who is eventually going to be moving around to attack my player and all that stuff. Most importantly, I wanted to type something. So right now I type something like a bunch of gibberish, but let me actually delete that part real quick. Change this to be something like 1% of my original height. I see a black line. Honestly, because the size was too like, it was like really, really small. Let me go ahead and get this back here. I hope this is bigger. There we go. Something like hello, dot, dot, dot. This is 100% of original text. If I send that, it like displays on my console. Guys, that was such a, whatchamacallit, that was such a like, that was, I didn't even know what it was like. I did not think it would work, but apparently I think, guys, I gotta figure it out. Okay, when will it be complete? Honestly, you guys could like, how long will it take? You guys could say it is complete type stuff and all that, but it's actually not complete because right now my position of my text is kind of static. I want my users' text to be above my users' head, if that makes any sense. And when my NPC replies, I want my NPC's text to be above my NPC's head, if that makes any sense. Can you make a game like PUBG GTA? Honestly, guys, I think that's actually going to be real hard for me. Are you Indian? Honestly, I don't think so. That's it, Speedy. What's going on? Howdy, Speedy. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, do you go to South Patey High School? Honestly, I haven't like heard of that. I don't think I go there because like I don't go to school, guys. I'm actually a college student. Okay, perfect, guys. I'm shocked it works, but I'm glad it does work. Now, to fix my position and all that stuff, I want what my player taps above my player's head. So, firstly, I'm going to change this to something like 0.8, and I want to change my x-axis and my y-axis to be above my player's head. To do that, I could go ahead and set my x-axis to be something like, I might create a few variables here real quick in that case. Let's go with something like, let's go with something like a integer of player x-axis. Okay, that is gonna be my hero.rect. Is it called rect? Does my heroes class have a rect, or is it like a hero rect? So in my heroes class, I have a, what is my rect called? It's called DST rect. Okay, you're not Indian, you're Indian. Honestly, guys, I haven't like been to India. That's why I'm kind of excited to visit India someday. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like DST rect. Let's go with something like DST rect. Okay, now my heroes is DST rect. I'm gonna go ahead and dot x-axis divided by, so I'm gonna go with something like divided by 2. I think it was something like this where my player, guys, I forgot the formula. I might have to check the formula up. Okay, let's delete this part real quick. So, where are you from? I used to like tell that a lot. That's it. I did stop saying that because like, what you would call it, for like safety reasons. That's it, bro. Tell me good resource to learn C++. I know C++ intermediate level. Honestly, if you know intermediate level, I feel like we're like at the same level. I did like start learning C++ through ChatGPT from the very beginning to like actually learn the basics. I think it was like personally really helpful like from my preference. That's it. Many of you guys do have different preference, and few people prefer learning from tutorials. Few people prefer learning like from docs and all that stuff. So I would like recommend exploring like all 3 fields, or like if there are more fields like courses and all that stuff, to like actually see which works the best for you. Once you find the thing that actually works the best for you, you could like actually try learning from there. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and paste this. Now let's go with hold up, guys. Let's go with something like Control A, Control C. Copy that. Get sensei/ChatGPT. Go with Control A, Control V. Okay, let me scroll all the way down. Delete this part. Let's go Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. It works! Exclamation. Okay, I see the text. That said, is there a way to make the text actually to set the text to be above my player's head question mark, like a health bar, because I want his text to move or go where he goes. if that makes any sense. Guys, the reason I know this is possible is because I did actually like work on like health bar logic in like Python, but not in C++. That's safety reasons. Will somebody die if you say your nationality? Guys, I don't know. It's like there are so many kind of people in the internet. That's it. Yes, people. Finally, you're getting it. You're getting it. This is the moment where you level up. Listen carefully. To make the text follow your hero like health bar or chat bubble, you don't need magic. You just need to position the text relative to the hero's DST rect. And guys, I forgot to tell you guys one thing. I was actually going to combine C++ and Python together because like finally yesterday, actually today once I was done with my exam, I came home. I tried installing like Python in my my VS Code. Let me actually run my Microsoft again. I have a Python's project here where I did actually install Python and even import Pygame. So this is going to be really fun. Eventually, I'm going to install like PyTorch and like all that stuff. So all I gotta do right now apparently is get my Python's the include folder, lib folder, or something like that, get the file path and add it to my C++ directory, if that makes any sense. I don't know what that means right now. Maybe after I'm done streaming right now, I'm going to be using some C/ChatGPT to actually get that done. So I am kind of excited to like use Python and C++ in like the same project. That would be kind of cool. Okay, that's it. Now that I'm done with that, what was he? Did I read the whole thing since he was trying to say? Okay, let's see. Right now, it is like display text start window. You're giving fixed coordinates. Yeah, the x-axis and y-axis is fixed. Do you practice DSA? If yes, give your lead code. Honestly, I don't actually. I have like whatchamacallit. I don't practice DSA for the time being, and I haven't like started lead code because I have been like holding myself back. Cause I was saving lead code for like a different series where like I only focus on lead code, if that makes sense. For this series, I'm trying to focus on like AI logic and like a game logic and AI integration inside of my game logic. That's it, guys. If I can't talk properly right now, it is because I'm not warmed up yet. That's that makes it stay in one place. Here's the idea: the text's x-axis should match the hero's x-axis, maybe center it. The text's y-axis should be above the hero's y-axis, but a certain offset like dsd_rect.height plus 10 should match the hero's x-axis, maybe center. I did this part in Python, so it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, love what you're doing. I'm actually learning a lot from it. Honestly, it does mean the world to me, Leon. Okay, the text y-axis should be above the hero's y-axis. I do remember this concept as well. Okay, now for the position. If my texture SDL_destroy texture, okay, when I render it all. Okay, SDL_get texture size. Once I get my texture size, position above hero dsd_rect.w equals to textures width multiplied by scale, textures height multiplied by scale. dsd_rect.x-axis equals to my hero's x-axis. There we go, guys. This is the exact formula that I forgot. So it's hero's x-axis plus my hero's rect's width minus dsd_rect.width divided by 2 in this case. What is my hero's rect? Do I even have like a hero's rect? I think I have like a hero's texture, not my hero's rect. For y-axis, my hero rect.y-axis minus. I don't have a hero rect. Destroy texture, destroy surface. dsd_rect.height minus 10. Okay. Okay, bro, I really like your consistency of streaming. Whenever in night I open YouTube Shorts, I find you streaming. Keep it up. Honestly, I appreciate you private, guys. That actually means the world to me. Okay, that's it. Now, I understand the concept, so it shouldn't be that hard to do this. dsd_rect is my direction rect. If I go to my heroes class, I have heroes texture, but I do use my heroes rect. So my heroes rectangle, isn't that like my... Oh, I see. Okay. So apparently, I do not have my heroes rect. How do I get my heroes rect? So maybe when I like display my histories, when I display my text on my window, fine, I have these parameters. This is dsd_rect. Where's my heroes rect? I destroy my texture and I destroy my surface as well. Although doing all that, dstrect.x-axis equals to my heroes is rect. How am I going to be getting my heroes is rect? Maybe, could it be that my chat class or my hero class inherits from my chat class? That is kind of genius. I might actually try that. Renderer font, x-axis, y-axis, floating point scale. Alright guys, this part is getting kind of tricky. Hold up guys, I think I know how to like get this done. But my heroes is rect, has a heroes texture, but it doesn't have a rect of its own. It uses a DST rect from my physics bodies class. From my physics body. In that case, instead of relying on my DST rect from my physics bodies class, excuse me guys, I might actually create okay, I might actually I just have AS on ground check here. Is it even like worth it to have this? 2 a.m. in the morning, guys. It's almost like 3 p.m. for me here. That said, I have a DST. What is the purpose of my physics bodies class? It's honestly just a waste of space if I think about it. Okay, hi all the way from SA. I've just subscribed to your channel. Love your content. Honestly, I appreciate you, Mogal or Mogalonge. Guys, I'm so awful at pronouncing names. I should actually work on those. That said, let's see. My physics bodies class, it doesn't. Where's my applied gravity and all that gone? Okay, wait, Mog, are you also from SA? Guys, where is my applied gravity? I most likely have it inside of my graphics section. There we go, I have like applied physics here. So why do I even have my physics bodies class? It's kind of a waste of space here if I'm being honest. So I go ahead and delete my physics bodies class. Okay, now I'm going to be getting a few errors here, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these things. Let's remove my physics bodies class that I'm inheriting from. Let's remove its constructor as well. For my position, I'm going to be using a rect. I'm going to go ahead and create a public data member called the SDL_FRECT, called something like hero rect. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Let's go ahead and copy my heroes as rect. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Paste it here. Let's do the same thing for my dragons class as well. I'm going to remove my inheritance from my physics bodies class. Let's go ahead and remove my constructor as well. Okay, perfect. Now let's change. Let's create a SDL_FRECT here for my dragons rect. So I'm going to go with dragon rect. Maybe I'll camel case it by going with like lowercase dragon and like capitalized rect. Let's copy that. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Hold up guys, I copied the whole thing. Let's just copy my dragon rect, paste it here, and paste it here. Alright, perfect. Now I can actually set my positions up here. My heroes class is going to be inheriting from do I want to inherit? I don't think I want to inherit. Maybe my chat class can inherit from my heroes class. What other parameters I require? Renderer, font, x-axis, y-axis, and scale. Okay, here's the thing. My chats class does not have a my chats class does not have a constructor, so I wouldn't need any parameters. So let's go with something like protected. There we go. Okay, you're South Indian, aren't you? Honestly, I don't think so. Okay, that said, if not, tell me. South Africa, that actually sounds kind of cool. Okay, let's see. Let's scroll all the way down here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and... what was I gonna do, guys? I forgot. NPC hero.png. What was I gonna do, guys? It kind of just blew off my mind. Let me paste something here because I'm pretty sure I did copy something. Oh, I remember. I'm going to be inheriting from my chats class. So I'm going to go ahead and inherit from my chat. And I wouldn't need a constructor because my chats class does not have a constructor. And I won't do that for my dragons class just yet. But Now for my position, since I have my heroes as rect, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Do I have a DST rect in my chats class? I do have it. Now for thinking about the formulas, let's see, let's go sensei slash chat GPT here. What was the formula? So my DST rect, when I'm sending my rects as x-axis and y-axis, I set that to be my heroes as rect. Display text on a window. So speaking of which, I feel like my hero does not need to inherit from my chat. In the other hand, it's gotta be the complete opposite. My chat's gotta inherit from my heroes as class, guys. Let's go ahead and copy that, delete my chats as class from here. Let's go ahead and paste my chats as class here. Okay, and now let's see. Have my parameters. I have a DST rect. My DST rect is x-axis. This is the this is the formula part, guys. Heroes is rect.x-axis plus heroes is rect.width minus DST rect.width divided by 2. I hope I remember this formula. So my heroes is x-axis. I increase that by my heroes is width minus my DST rect is width divided by 2. Oh, that's kind of easy if I think about it. So I'm just going to be inheriting from my heroes as class. Let's go with something like hero. Okay, and now I require a heroes as constructor here as well, since I inherit from my heroes as class. That does require a few parameters. Render and scale. What happens if I don't add a constructor at all? Why do I have this bunch of red underlines here real quick? Chats as class is on ground. Alright guys, I think it was kind of a bad call. Let's go ahead and get my heroes chats as class back up here. Here's the thing, how do I get the position of my heroes as correct? Only logical thing that I could think of my chat inherits from my hero. How do I do this part? Let's think. How should I go over this? My hero has a rect. My chat has a rect. Oh, I see. Maybe I remove these two parameters from here. Let's go ahead and remove those. I do it inside right here. Is on ground. Why does my is on ground have an error? Did I delete something from my chats this class? Oh, I deleted my physics body. I wouldn't need my is on ground here. Instead, I'm gonna check if I am on ground. My hero.rect hero.hero rect. So I'm gonna go with something like hero rect. Was it called hero rect? I'm pretty sure it's called hero rect, guys. It's called hero rect. I spelled it wrong here. No wonder. Let's go ahead and change that to hero rect, and hero rect. Now my hero.hero rect dot y-axis, if my heroes is y-axis, is either greater than or equal to my floors is y-axis. Okay, that's when my hero is on ground. I'm gonna go with something like plus my hero dot hero rect dot height. Okay guys, this is a handful. Now let's scroll all the way down here. Instead of hero.dst rect, it's going to be hero.hero rect. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, paste it here. Now all the way down here, I'm going to go ahead and paste my hero rect. Guys, I wish there was like a refactor option where I could just change one name that changes like all the hero rects. That is for my heroes. My dragon is going to be called my dragon rect. Let's copy that, paste it here, and paste it here. Now I want to check if it works. I'm going to hit Ctrl+S to save the code and run the command and see what happens. When it's complete Python course coming out, I'll also get a better mic. Please guys, is the mic not good? My dragon is going to be called my dragon rect. Honestly, I feel like, is it my mic settings or something? I gotta like fix it. Is the mic not clear? That's it, hiding me out. Appreciate you joining the stream. When is Python course coming out? Okay, honestly guys, I am going to be starting Python really soon, but this time I'm going to be using Python with like SDL type stuff, if it makes sense. So I'm going to use Python and C++ in the same project. Get a better mic. His mic is good, just improper usage. That does make sense, guys. Okay, I hear him just fine. I see. Okay, that's it. No, your mic is good. Okay, guys, that actually got me, whatchamacallit, panicking for a bit. I was like, wait, is my mic bad or something? Because this was actually a pretty cheap mic if you talk about it. It does look kind of cute though, because I did stick a Pikachu sticker up here. What mic you using? It sounds high quality. Honestly, I think like, I'm using it. I don't know what quality it is. I got this like off of Amazon for like $5 or something. That said, it is a pretty good mic, guys. I get like 2 mics as well. Each mic works for like 4 hours. Okay, that's it. Now I gotta set its position. What I was really thinking of, I'm gonna be setting the position inside of my apply physics section, actually under my graphics section. So what I want to do is I'm gonna go with something like my chat dot the DST rect. Okay, dot x-axis is gonna be equal to, so my chat is x-axis. $5 only. Honestly, yeah, guys, it was like pretty cheap mic. Like, that's a steal deal. That does make sense. Like, it's mostly the settings that I set for my mic. Like, I get 2-piece mic here type stuff. Okay, no, wait, it actually was. Because if you guys go to Amazon and you guys, like, type, whatchamacallit, I think it's called, like, Pocket Mic or something. I forgot the name. It was, like, a while ago since I got it. It's, like, these small mics like this. Hold on, let me actually show from here. Like, these kind of tiny mics. I forgot what kind of mics these called. They're, like, charged. Like, you gotta, like, charge them and all that stuff. But these were really, really good, guys. Okay, that's it. It doesn't have noise suppression. You guys do gotta do that in like OBS type stuff. Nice. It's not a cheap mic, dude. It's high quality. That does make sense, guys. It's like really, really high quality. Because I like installed a I think a program or something that did like add a, or that did like give me a lot of settings for this mic. Because if you guys like go to my first videos or like my first streams or something, my mic's quality did like drop drastically. Then later on it did start increasing because of that because of the settings that I changed. Okay, it was just affordable. That does make sense. Okay, get back to coding, guys. I should actually focus. Now, what was I going to do here? My DST rect is going to be equal to my hero.hero rect dot x-axis is going to be increasing by, let's say, something like my hero.hero rect dot width plus, was it minus? I think it was minus my chat.dst rect dot let's say something like width divided by 2, ending with a semicolon. It's kind of noisy, to be honest. Is it? Okay, maybe I should like talk a bit slower. Okay, those same mics that clip to your shirt are called lavender mic or lapel mic. I think it was called something like a pocket mic or something. I actually forgot. I don't think it's pocket mic. I forgot the name of this mic though. Let me actually check real quick. Let's say it's something like, what are mics? It's a collar mic. There we go, guys. I remember the name. It was called like a collar mic. Just lower volume, meow. Okay, let's see. This was the first formula. Now for the second formula. I actually forgot this. I should like memorize this part. I gotta go with my DST rect.y-axis. I'm gonna be setting that equal to my hero rect.y-axis minus my DST rect.height minus 10. So y-axis minus height. So I could go with something like my chat. Let's go ahead and type something like my chat dot the DST rect dot y-axis is going to be equal to my hero dot hero rect dot y-axis. Was it plus? Okay, let's see. Okay, guys, why is it so hard to remember these formulas? Like, it shouldn't be that hard. These formulas are honestly easy. Hero rect.y-axis minus DST rect.height. Hero rect.y-axis minus my chat dot DST rect.height. Ending with a semicolon. Minus 10 ending with a semicolon. Excuse me, guys. And now for the control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I get my console here. And then I get my window up here. By the way, what is he coding right now? Honestly, I'm actually like working on like this code right here. So if I type something like hello, it does work. If my player moves around, okay, I just gotta disable a few things, but this moves with my player. That is some kind of a W. If I hit enter, it displays on my console, guys. This is actually perfect. Let's say something like how's your day question mark. Okay, now I just gotta add something that actually disables and enables my chat. Ah, gotcha. A game dev and he's using mostly C++. That does make sense. That's it, guys. I did install Python because like I am going to be implementing AI logic. I'm really excited to use Python and C++ at the same time in the same project. Yeah, check the YT channel to see. Okay, I think that's actually very good for this stuff. Now I'm gonna be adding a few variables here. Inside my while loop, I'm gonna go ahead and add a variable called something like chat on, which is initially going to be set to false, ending with a semicolon. This is going to be a boolean variable called chat on. Okay, this is going to be a check that's going to be turning on and turning off my chat. So I'm going to add a if statement that says something like if my SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down, if any of my event types, if my event dot type equals to SDL underscore key underscore SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down, if any of my keyboard buttons are currently being pushed down, I'm going to do something. Speaking of which, I could have just done that in my this if statement here. I already have one here. Might as well do it here, guys. I'm gonna check if my SDL's key, let's go with something like if my SDL's key is something like maybe 1. I'm gonna go with something like 1. If my user typed 1, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm initially gonna go inside my switches. So I'm gonna go inside right here, paste it. Okay, then I'm going to do something. I'm going to set my chat on to be set to true. So chat on is going to be equal to true, ending with a semicolon, and then I break as well, ending with a semicolon. For my case 2, I check if my SDL's key is something like 2. If my user clicked 2, I set my chat on to be equal to false, ending with a semicolon, then I break. Okay, perfect. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go all the way down here when I actually display something, like display my histories. Let's say something like only if, a parentheses, if my chat is on. So if my chat is actually not on, so if not chat on, if my chat is currently not on, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm going to be displaying my text history, so I'm going to go ahead and paste this here. So only if my chat is off, I can display my history. And only if my chat is on, so if a parentheses, if chat on, only if my chat is on, I want to even, add my text events, because text events is the section that actually gets me to write stuff on my window. If I hit Control S to save the code, let's see what happens. I get my first console here. I get my window here as well. Hopefully it doesn't work. Hello? Does not work. If I hit 1, the chat enables, guys. Does my backspace not work? I mean, only 1 works? Seriously, guys? Hold on, guys. Maybe I remove my chat on and off from here real quick. Okay, my text events should work, but I want my text events to like only work if I hit 1. If I hit 2, it's set back to be off. Where am I messing up here in that case? This is a event type variable which is initially set to false. Every iteration it gets back to be false. Okay, 1 is true, 2 is false. Okay, if chat is not on, then I show my display. If I were to Control S to save the code and run the command here, let's see what happens. I get my first console here, I get my window here as well. Let's type something like hello. Let me get my player a bit here. Bunch of D's. Hello. If I hit 2. If I hit 1. That doesn't work. If I hit H. It displays my histories, but then this isn't what I was looking for. Maybe, let's see if my chat is off. My chat is usually off, but something doesn't like feel correct here. True and false. I add those in my event checks here. Only if my chat is on, I want to do something. Does that mean that I gotta get my... Okay, wait, this happens every iteration. Let's copy this. Maybe my chat on should go outside. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here, and I get my window here. If I type something like hello, I mean it does display. If I go with something like 1, 2, does display. Okay, what would be something that would actually add a check? Should I actually add my check inside of my chats class? I think that would make the most sense. That would actually make the most sense here. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a boolean variable of something like chat on, which is initially going to be set to false, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and now under my display text on window, I want to go ahead and add let's say something like an if statement, display text on window, only if my chat is on. Maybe should my chat on be like okay, firstly I want this to be okay, so if my chat is on, that's when I want to do this stuff here first of all. So I might actually add an if statement here. Yo, sub bro, how you doing, Ankamesh? I appreciate you joining the stream. Let's go with something like if bro parentheses, only if chat on. I want to go ahead and copy all this. Okay, it starts there, ends there. Delete it from here, paste it here. Only if my chat is on, I want this part to work. If it's not on, I do not want it to work. I want my histories to work only if my chat is on as well. So I'm gonna go with something like if April parentheses, if chat on, and only if my chat is on. My histories is good. Actually, if my chat is not on, that's when I can display my histories. If not chat on, if my user clicked H, display histories. If chat on, if my user types something, append it to my text input, and then do whatever I do next. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and maybe add a condition inside of my constructor, most likely, that actually sets or checks if my chat is on or off. Maybe outside, I'm just gonna be not having a method here in that case. Alright, maybe I go ahead and paste my chat on inside my function, inside my method. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add a statement to check something. Let's check if my event variable dot type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down. If my event type is key down, if my user push some kind of button down, then I'm going to do something. Hi, Leon, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, if that is the case, then I'm going to do something. I'm going to check what kind of button is down. So I have the key code as structure. I'm going to be using a switch. Okay, let's go with something like key. If the key that has been pressed, so for my case 1, I'm going to check if my SDL's key that has been pressed is 1. I'm going to set my chat on. Maybe instead of going with 1, I might go with something like L shift. This is left shift. I set my chat on to be equal to true, ending with a semicolon, then I break. For my second case, I check if my SDL's key is a right shift. Okay, if my user clicked right shift, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set my chat on. Hold up guys, there we go, chat on to be equal to false, ending with a semicolon, then I break. Alright, that's actually perfection in a cup, guys. And this is pretty much it. I am just gonna be copying this part and pasting it inside of my display history section as well, or my display history method as well. And now, if I were to hit Ctrl+S to save the code and run the command, I'm pretty sure this should work perfectly, guys. Let's get my console here. Let's get my window here. Okay, let's see if it works. So let's type something like hello. Does not work. If I hit left shift, does not work. If I hit a right shift, hello, does not work. Guys, adding this check, I feel messed something up. It's initially set to false. Let me think. It's initially set to false. If I add something, it doesn't get displayed there. If it doesn't get displayed there, I can't show it on my window. Event.type, I added a statement here, display chat, added an if statement there. For my texture, added an if statement there as well. Okay, maybe I go ahead and like copy everything, bro. I know you will butcher the name, so just call me Uncle. Honestly, Uncle sounds pretty good. That's kind of a cool name. That's it. Let's go ahead and copy that. Get Sensei GPT here, paste it, go shift enter and say something like Sensei in my chats class. There we go. In my chats class, I did add, let's say something like let's say I did add a chat on and chat off. Actually, chat on. Okay, here's the thing. Instead of chat on set to true and chat on set to false, what if I had a chat on and chat off variable? I added a chat on, but it feels like it messed my code, so my chat does not work right now. Although I was thinking, what if I added two variables, chat on and chat off? Would that work, question mark? Or would it be the same thing if I use just one variable, chat on? Okay, let's see. Listen to me, people. Stop overcomplicating things. Adding chat on is enough. You don't need two variables. Having chat on and chat off will just make your code a mess, likely break the logic, because you have to constantly check which one wins. If statement, one boolean variable is enough, true, active, false, chat inactive. The real problem right now, your chat text event and chat display history, you're declaring a local chat on variable inside the function like this. That's literally resetting it every single call. No wonder your chat doesn't work. Okay, fix. Remove the local boolean chat on inside text event and display history past the main chat on variable from your main loop. From my main loop to those functions so they know where to accept and show histories. Okay, example, if not chat on, okay, if not chat on, I wanna, if not chat on, return. That's actually genius if I hit return. And then if I don't return, then I go with the SDL key codes of the event. In the main function, okay, so that's a variable that goes inside of my main loop. For example, I could go with something like a boolean of chat on. Let's go with something like chat on, which is set to something like false initially, ending with a semicolon. Now, I scroll all the way up till I don't actually find my classes here. Okay, now, from my classes, I remove this variable checked. And instead, I'm even going to be removing it from here. Okay, if chat on, let's remove these two variables as well. And even this variable from here, this event check. Now, instead, I'm going to go ahead and do something. I'm going to be adding a if statement. So inside this function, if my chat is not on. Wait, was it like if chat not on? Hello guys, I opened my OBS by mistake. There we go. Okay, so it says if chat not on, I return, else I do something else. Guys, I actually exited ChatGPT completely. I mean, that's fine. I think I got the basic gist of it. This requires the event variable and a boolean variable of something like chat on. Okay, now let's go with something like if a prof. Actually, I wouldn't even need this if statement here. I could just copy everything from here. It starts there, so it must end here. Delete everything. If chat on, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Maybe I can, just to save a few lines, although it's the same exact thing, I might get it here. I'm gonna go ahead and return something. Let's go ahead and return, let's just return. Else, I'm gonna use my SDL's key code. Let's copy that, delete it from here, paste it out of here. Guys, there is no way I copied my SDL's key code. Okay, I gotta go with a bunch of Control-Z's apparently, because I gotta copy this part. Okay, this starts there, it should end here. Let's go ahead and delete that real quick. Now, before I do anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and paste it here. Copy my SDL's key code, delete it from there, paste it here, and then maybe delete these excess spaces from here, and then just return, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm going to require a chat on's variable here as well, so I'm going to go with something like a boolean of chat on. Okay, now for my chat on, I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part, start there, must end here, delete this part. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it here after adding a bunch of spaces, copy my SDL3 key code, delete that, paste it all the way here. Maybe remove these extra spaces from here as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and return if my chat is not on. Okay, now my chat on or off is gonna be determined inside of my event loop or my main loop here. Okay, what is he building? He's building a game. Honestly, I am like working on game logic where like I can actually type text on my window that is going to be displayed above my player's head, if that makes any sense. Okay, that's it. Now let's go here. Let's add a boolean variable of my chat on variable. I'm gonna go with something like chat on. Maybe I scroll in a bit. And then let's go with something like chat on here as well. Okay, perfect. If chat not on, chat on, that doesn't make any sense. There we go. Let's go ahead and delete that from there. Go with something like tab to indent, and that's actually pretty much it. I'm just gonna be adding another event check to check if my chat is on or off. Okay, maybe I do that under my SDL's key code. So I'm gonna go ahead and add an if statement here that checks something. Let's check if my event.type equals to SDL underscore event underscore key underscore down. Then I'm going to go ahead and do something if any of my keyboard buttons are currently being pushed down. Firstly, I want to go ahead and add a switch. My switch is going to be checking if any of my keys are being pushed. And I'm going to be looking for the exact key that's being pushed. For my case 1, I'm going to check if my SDL's key is something like L shift. If my left shift is being pushed, I'm going to set my chat on to be true. Let's go with something like chat on boolean variable to be set to true, ending with a semicolon, then I break. For my case 2, I check if my SDL's key is a right shift, so I'm going to go with something like right shift. If my right shift is set to true, I'm going to go ahead and set my chat on to be set to false, ending with a semicolon, then I break. Now, if I need Control S to save the code and run the command, the moment of truth, guys, I get my console here, then I get my window here. Okay, my player does move around. Let's see. Moment of truth, guys. It did display when I type something. If I type something, it does display. If I hit my left shift, I can type something. If I hit my right shift, I can still type something. I do remember adding the chat on and off logic before. Why does it not work right now? Am I like doing something wrong? I feel like I did the same exact thing before and right now as well. Okay, maybe the display text on window type stuff. No, that wouldn't be the case, guys. Let's scroll all the way up really quick to if not chat on, return. That ends my entire method. If my chat is not on, okay. Okay, if chat is on, I return. Hold on, guys, let's hit not here. There we go, that might be the mistake. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my first console here. Now, if I type hello, it doesn't work. If I hit shift and I type hello, still doesn't work. If I hit right shift and I type something, doesn't work. If I hit enter, it just blocked all my messages in like general. This is the same thing as what I did before. Maybe I go with Control A, Control C, copy that, gives some c/chat GPT up here that I apparently deleted the conversation by mistake, guys. Hold on, there we go. Okay, let's get some c/chat GPT here. There we go. Okay, let's get that all the way up there. Extend it a bit from here and then extend it from here as well. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and paste it. Go with shift enter and say something like, sensei, my chats are not seen at all now, ... Did I mess up somehow? Guys, I feel like it shouldn't be a mess up. Is it like a silly mistake that my iteration is not being this thing? Oh, people, listen and pay attention. I see the problem immediately. You're screaming up scopes like a complete amateur. Look in here, in your main loop. Then inside your while loop, do I have it in 2 loops? That means you're creating new local variables. Is it a silly mistake? You don't need to redeclare it inside the loop at all. Just use it before the loop. Okay, so keep this here. Okay, so I had 2 variables. Okay, I think it was like kind of carelessness as well. If I hit Control S, does it actually change anything? It should be actually changing something, I feel like. Okay, so when I'm here, initially it is set to false. Let's get my window here. If I type something like hello, doesn't work. If I hit L shift and type hello, guys, that changed it. That changed everything. If I hit H, okay, H displays my histories. I can fix that part. If I hit my right shift and then I hit H. Okay, all I gotta do to fix my history stuff is remove the not from my class here. Let's remove the not. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I get my console here. I get my window here. Now, in my Windows section, let me actually get a bit more to the right. Hold up, guys. I think I just cut them all back. Now, if I type something like hello, nothing is being shown here because I don't have the histories. If I hit shift, hello, I hit enter. If I hit H, my histories is not being shown. But if I hit my right shift and I hit H, my histories is being shown. Guys, that was all that I wanted to actually get. Now I understand the mistake that I did. Okay, guys, I'm actually not gonna make this mistake again because this was kind of silly type stuff. That said, it did like fix the error up here. That was like 90% of what I was trying to do to stream. Maybe I want to go ahead and load another PNG now. This time, when the NPC replies me. For that, I gotta go ahead and create maps and all that stuff as well. Okay, so let's see. Firstly, before I actually load, maybe I load my PNG first. It's the same thing, honestly. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and copy my Dragons' class. Okay, let's copy it. Let's go ahead and paste it here. I'm going to be calling this something like Demons' class because I'm going to be pasting my Demon PNG. Maybe something like Mage. I don't know. I think I could go with something like Mage. And then I'm going to change this to something like Mage texture. Okay, so that is going to be my Mage texture. And then this is going to be my Mage's Rect. So I'm going to go with something like Mage's Rect. This is going to be my Mage's Constructor. This is going to be my Mage's texture. Let's copy that. Paste Mage texture. And then paste my Mage texture here as well. Copy my Mage Rect. Paste my Mage Rect. Paste my Mage Rect. And paste my Mage Rect. Okay, perfect. Let's copy my Mage's texture. And then paste it here. That's a whole Mage object right now. Guys, I could have done this with a dragon as well. But then I gotta change the file path. I could take the file path as a parameter. But I haven't like tried that yet. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like PNG. Now, let's scroll all the way down until I don't find the create objects section. I'm gonna go ahead and create a Mage object called something like Mage that does require two parameters. The first is gonna be my render, second is gonna be my size. In this case, I'm gonna set it to be 0.1 ending with a semicolon. That is basically 10% of my original size. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and display my Mage on my window first. Maybe I gotta change his positions as well. Hold on, guys. Let's scroll all the way up. Where's my positions? I do not have my positions here, so how do I get my positions? This is width. That is height. I think I'll see that. Firstly, I want to go ahead and paste this under my graphics section. Maybe somewhere around here. Mage.theDraw method. And that requires a parameter of my renderer, ending with a semicolon. Okay, I think I spelled renderer wrong. There we go, guys. This is going to be my Mage, right? Not Mage texture. It's just going to be my Mage's object. Okay, perfect. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, I might not be able to see him on my window just yet. Okay, I see my Mage. I see my Mage up there. He's static. I want to get his position to be down or right. How is his position static here? Because my hero dropped from there as well. Could it be that it's its default position of staying? Maybe I fix that real quick. Hold on, guys. Let's go ahead and add something like my Mage texture. Maybe I lowercase my Mage texture because that's how it's usually written. Let's copy that. Let's paste that here. Let's paste that here. And let's paste that here. And my Mage's Rect should be lowercase as well. Let's copy that. Okay, let's paste it here. Let's paste it here. And let's paste it here. Okay, my Mage texture. Let's change this to something like MAGE, mage texture. Okay, what will you do after the 100 days of C++? Maybe I'm going to be working with Python and C++ at the same time, because that's what I've been trying to do right now as well. I did like set my Python up on my Visual Studio, but eventually I do need AI logic by the end of my programming for like 250-day series. To do that, my goal by the end of that series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic. And now I could go ahead and add AI logic with C++, but I feel like Python is much better. So I'm going to be using Python for the brains and C++ just for the speed type stuff. I think he's going to move on to Python or something like that. Honestly, I'm going to be using Python and like C++ together. I don't know how would that work right now, but I do know that I got to go ahead and like initialize my Python inside of my C++ file, if that makes any sense. Okay, that's it. Let's scroll all the way down now. Let's see, what am I missing now? This is NPC Dragon. I gotta add positions up here for my mage. So I'm gonna go with something like my mage rect. Okay, let's go with something like my mage rect dot x-axis is going to be kind of static for the time being. I might set it to be something like maybe I don't know, like 800 ending with a semicolon, and then I'll go with something like mage rect dot y-axis is going to be equal to something like 700 ending with a semicolon. Now I'm going to scroll all the way down to the point where I actually automate stuff to apply gravity. Okay, this is automation for my dragon. I gotta go ahead and do that for my mage as well. But I'm gonna hit Control S for the time being, and if I were to run the code, let's see what happens. I get my window here. Guys, did my mage just like fall to infinity? I think he did. Hold up, guys. I want to run the code again. I want to check if he actually fell. Nope. I'm pretty sure that wasn't my mage that fell. It was someone else. Okay, maybe I don't add a y-axis just yet. Let's remove the y-axis from my mage. Okay, here's the thing. I add my textures. How did I get my position for my hero? Let's see. So my hero, okay, I have these basic stuff all the way here. My position, how did I get my hero's position? Like my x-axis and my hero's y-axis. Usually my usually my physics bodies class is responsible for that. Is my applied physics responsible for that here? Hero.y-axis is gonna increase. Okay, so hero has gravity here. Okay, when did I set my hero's position to stay there? My mage is kind of like not visible anymore. If I were to hit Control S to save the code and run the command again, let's see what happens. I get my first window up here. Alright guys, there is some progress. I see my mage up there. Now, I gotta get my mage lower. I think 700 was too lower for my mage. So, let's scroll all the way up here till my mage's class. I'm gonna go with something like mage rect.x-axis is gonna be equal to something like 500. Not too high, not too low. Okay, now if I did Control S to save the code, let's see what happens. Why did the y-axis push him towards the left? Because I set it to x-axis. Guys, let's change that to y-axis. If I did Control S to save the code and run the command again. Okay, my mage is lower. What if I go with something like 600? Because I know 700 is the sweet spot here. Let's run the code again. Alright, I mean, that looks kind of good for a mage. Maybe I want to increase his size. I'm going to go ahead and increase his height. And later, I do want to add like text to my mage as well. Like my mage responds in kind, like what, depending on what my player actually says my mage. Let's change his size. Mage.draw. Okay, so that is my draw. How do I go to the scale? Assuming that's in my mage's class. Okay, I require the scale parameter. Okay, where are my create objects? I go ahead and create objects all the way here. My mage is going to be requiring a parameter of 0.2, a bit bigger. Hiding Devar, appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, now if I did control, let's just save the code and run the command. Okay, that's a huge mage. Instead of going with 0.2, I might go with something like 0.15. Okay, now if I did control us to save the code and run the command and see what happens. Okay, I would say that this is a pretty good height for my mage. I just want to get his x-axis to be a bit higher. So I'm gonna go up. Maybe I add landing for my mage. Let's go ahead and maybe change this to be something like 400 for the time being. I'm going to be adding landing for my mage as well because I want my mage to be... I actually don't want my mage to be affected by my gravity, to be honest. Okay, let's run the code again. I didn't actually show you guys what happened last time. Okay, so it does look somewhat like this. My mage is like... he's too big. This looks like a really, really big map, guys. I think I want my player to be big as well. Maybe instead of going with 1.5, I'll go with something like 1.2. If I did control us to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, this is actually the perfect size for my mage. Guys, it's not too big, not too small. So I changed my position again to be something like 600. If I did control us to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Guys, that's too big. I'm going to go with something like 550. Okay, I wanted to show that to you guys, but I think I'm just going to run the code again and show it to you guys. I couldn't run the code because the program was already running. Okay, maybe a bit lower, so I might go with something like 600 or 580. Guys, this is a magic number. I shouldn't be playing with magic numbers. I'm just going to be setting this to be something like 800. Instead, I'm going to scroll all the way down here. Let's scroll all the way down here, cancel this part. I'm just going to go ahead and add a if statement. So I'm going to go with something like, let's copy this. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. I'm just going to be changing this to be mage and changing that to be mage rect. Okay, guys, I was just trying to take the lazy path out there. That said, let's go ahead and copy that. Let's go ahead and paste it here, and paste it here. And let's copy mage, paste mage here, paste mage here, and paste mage here. And now my mage is going to be lower. If I already control this, save the code and run the command, my mage is going to be standing in one place. There we go. Alright guys, this thing, it does work type stuff and all that. I do gotta remove this though. Okay, now if I did control us to save the code again and run the command and see what happens. Okay, so this is my mage, this is my player. Guys, think about it. What was the point of spending all that time writing that stuff? This is like much better and convenient. Okay, let's go ahead and now check for something else. I want my dragon to be bigger, honestly. I feel my dragon is too small. Hello from Morocco, hiding Larda. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add a chat logic for my, whatchamacallit, for my player as well, if that makes any sense. I mean, not player, for my mage. To do that, I'm gonna go all the way up under my main loop before I create objects. I'm gonna go ahead, after I'm done creating my window, I'm gonna add a comment that says something like, storyline. Storyline. Okay, here I'm going to be using maps. So firstly, I'm going to go ahead and use the standard map with a pair of ankle braces. Now, my standard map is going to be consisting of two iterators. The first is going to be a standard string iterator. The second is going to be a standard string as well. That's pretty much it. My map is going to be called something like storyline. Okay, honestly, not storyline. I think it's gonna be called something like NPC replies. I gotta create a separate texture for this as well, guys. Let's end this with a semicolon. Now, thinking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and set my storyline. Guys, I think I spelled story wrong here. There we go. Okay, now my storyline at index, if my storylines is key is something like hello, then my value is gonna be something like okay, let's see what my mates say. Let's say something like perish fool. Guys, I don't know, I want to make this kind of cheesy. Perish fool exclamation. That is what my mage is gonna say. Then I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. I'm gonna add a few more. Why did you choose SDL and not something like Vaylib to make your game? Because I heard SDL was kind of hard. That's by the way, I know you will butcher the name, so just call me Uncle. Honestly, that does sound kind of cool. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part. Let's paste it here. Let's paste it here. Let's paste it here. Let's say why are you? Actually, not why are you guys. What my NPC should say. Let's say something like, "How is your day? How is your day?" Question mark. My NPC is gonna say something like, what would my NPC say if, like, guys, if an NP, like, if a hero, like, if my player replies to my enemy saying that how was your day, what would they say? Would they say something like better than your day or something like that? Let's say something like awful. Now that I've seen you. Guys, I want to go with something fun. This is not fun at all. What up, guys? Instead of how's your day, let me say something like attack. Okay, if I say something like attack, I don't have like a real attack spell right now, so I'm just like adding this for fun. My NPC is gonna say something like dodged it. Dodged it. Okay, dot. And then I'm gonna say something like defend. Okay, actually dodge. I'm gonna say something like dodge. There we go. And replying to dodge, I'm gonna say something like failed to attack, or let's say something like missed exclamation. Okay, and then I'm gonna say something like bye. Okay, I could go ahead and say something like bye. Let's change this to something like farewell, farewell worthy opponent. Okay. Alright guys, I think that this is gonna be working just for the time being. I'm not gonna be adding like really intense stuff here type stuff. That said, I added a texture. I gotta go ahead and add a texture for my NPC as well. How much time have you been coding for? Honestly, about 2-ish hours. I do gotta go though, cause whatchamacallit, I did like end my exam today, so I do gotta do like whatchamacallit. Cause honestly, my college did end today. If I want, I can like stream for longer and longer. But I did want to work on making more PNGs, like sprites and all that stuff. Because eventually I don't want to use like these static emojis and all that. Instead, I want to use like sprites. Plus, guys, this these days when I don't have like my calls and everything, I am gonna try uploading as many videos as I can type stuff. That's it. Howdy Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. That's let's see. Now I gotta add a separate texture here, okay? So what kind of texture do I want to add? Let's think. But how many years? Honestly, it hasn't been years. I think like I've been coding for like 180 days right now. I started like learning C++ 80 days ago. I have been learning Python for like, I actually learned Python, like I had about Python for 100 days series. If you guys do go to my first ever programming video on my channel, which was like 5 months ago, that is like my Python for 100 days series week 1 type stuff. That was like about 5-ish months ago, so I think I've been programming for like 5 months. Okay, howdy Master, I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it guys, maybe I do add my, my mages texture and my mages, conversation and all that next stream, because this stream I do feel like I gotta go type stuff, because I am going to be making a lot more PNGs, because for the time being, these are all the PNGs that I have if I were to go to Open in File Explorer. These are all the PNGs. The only kind of PNG that I did manage to make that does look like, a sprite class is like my text bars and all that stuff, because these were like really easy to make. And then I'm going to go with buff bars. I did like draw these types of stuff as well. That's it for my characters under my NPC class. I don't have like the sprite classes for them. Instead, I have like static, static PNGs. I want to try drawing those, sprite PNGs. I can't just download stuff from online because guys, I am really scared of copyrights. That said, let me actually go ahead and copy this code. Go with Control-C, get Sensei / GPT here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. I honestly feel like I'm going to be adding, let's say something like text to the NPC tomorrow. because I want to work. Let's say something like I want to work on making more PNGs today. That said, before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers? Question mark. And guys, I'm like really excited to like what you may call it, try the new sprite class because I haven't like actually animated objects like through coding. Like if I click a certain button, every second they change their sprite. If that makes any sense, so that like replicates like the walking PNG and all that stuff. Plus, the thing that I'm really excited for is like using C++ and Python together in like one program. If that makes any sense. That's it. Listen up, people. To everyone watching right now, you think mastery is easy? You think making games and controlling NPCs and chat in SDL is some kind of joke? I think it's like I think honestly SDL is pretty easy and fun once we understand the basics of it. That's it. This is blood, sweat, and code. And if you want to be good, you've got to dig deeper than ever. Every bug, every frustration, every pixel you slap on the screen is making you stronger. The difference between you and some random coder, you're here fighting, you're actually building something. Keep pushing, keep breaking things, and keep fixing them. This is how you become unstoppable. Remember, the next time, remember, next time you add texture NPCs, don't just slap it there. Make it alive, make it move with the character, make the player feel it. Now go create, break, and master our people. When you're ready tomorrow, we'll make NPCs talk with their own floating text above their heads, and we'll do it right. You think you're ready for that? Honestly, I am actually ready for that, guys. That's it. Let's go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. That's it. Today was my final exam, and guys, I did actually do pretty well in it. I don't know the marks yet because I haven't like got my score yet, but I feel like I'm going to be getting an A, and I would actually, what we call that, I hope I end with a 4.0 GPA this semester. That's it. If you guys did enjoy this stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Liking helps with my algorithm, sharing makes me smile, and subscribing is like a cherry on top. And guys, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and I will start multi-streaming on TikTok and Instagram as well if I did meet the followers requirements. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description, and also join the Discord server. The link will be in the description as well. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.